Holy buckets. Did this work? Am I actually live from my house? And of course, I have the best shot of my house ever, which is the bar, right? So I really got to think about my shots better. No pun intended. So I am just trying this out right now, and I am completely willing to let this go if it is not working or becomes horribly inconvenient. I think I may have, depending on how you look at things in the world, I think I may have lucked out in that I'm having a very small attendance to this workshop I'm running today. Usually we'll have 6 or so people present, and today I got a lot of messages letting me know that that people weren't going to be able to make it. So that's number one. Number two is that this stream is going to be different from what everybody is usually used to, because even though I think I figured out how to do the other thing, which I'm going to actually probably log on a little later and try on, I'm not going to be watching videos yet. Just one little thing at a time, you guys. Okay, just one thing at a time. The fact that I am even frickin' on and streaming at my house right now, and it looks like my audio is working, and it looks like everything is going, is phenomenal for me. So let's just start there, and then maybe tonight I can futz around a little bit with watching and reacting to things. How about that? Okay, cool. And nobody's even viewing right now here, but here's what we're going to do for anybody who goes back to watch these on our YouTube page, which we do have a Chicago Plays YouTube page, so that if you ever want to watch replays of the Chicago Plays streams, you can go there. Cool? All right, it is 3:33, which is actually supposedly very lucky and enchanting. Usually people start to straggle into the ritual between now and about 10 minutes from now. So I'm just going to, what's the word I'm looking for? No, well, waiting is what I'm going to do. I'm going to filibuster. I'm going to filibuster here and just chat at you while we wait for people to log on or not. I feel like I don't know. I don't usually hope for nobody to come, but I kind of am hoping that today because I've had a very stressful time this afternoon. But wow, I'm here. I'm on. I'm live right now, which I can't believe it. So anyway, here's what we're going to be doing. Oh, look at. This is why community is amazing. I just had a cocktail handed to me. It's a bit laggy, says Alpharisis. Okay, cool. Good to know. I am at home. How is the audio? Cosmopolitan. I think it's a dirty martini. I don't know if it's vodka or gin though. It's gin. I am a gin dirty martini drinker, so that's good news. Well, Alpharisis, how is my audio? Because if my audio is good and my video isn't, then maybe I can set up my external webcam, and that might be better. Checkerbrecker says, gin. So today, my audio is great. Awesome. Video isn't. Damn it. Well, give me 2 segundos, and I will see about getting my webcam up, and then I'm going to tell y'all what I am going to be doing with you today at this point in time. I'm going to try something else later tonight. So I'm going to be in and out of a stream today just for y'all. Let me go grab my webcam and see what I can see. Y'all can enjoy my luscious bar over here. Okay. Here is the webcam. It was much closer than I thought it was going to be.
Were you taking things out of my bag?
Yes, she was emptying your bag out. So my daughter is right here on the other side of the computer here. And she is adorable. I don't know. I'm guessing y'all could guess that. But so today what we're going to be doing is I'm bringing y'all to work today. It's bring your stream to work day is what it is. And I'm going to show you guys what I do, well, partially for a living. Kira is just vibing. How's it going, my favorite reactors? Greetings from Russian Federation. Hey, DJ Guru, what is going on? Welcome. I'm trying to make my video a little bit better, so bear with me. But until that happens, okay, let's see if this is a thing. Until that happens, I'm just going to continue talking.
So, hello, Kira's little one. Yeah, she's over there. She's being preoccupied with highlighters right now. So, that's good news. Let's see here. Okay, you guys, this is my, like, maiden voyage for getting this stream up in my house. So you are here for it. Can you believe it? All right, so let me see if this external webcam is a thing. Oh! It works. Wow. Oh. It switched to the, oh. And then when I go here, the audio goes to my laptop. Well, that's a thing. How is that? Is that better or is that worse when it comes to audio? Because it looks like I'm redlining audio a little bit. But yeah, this is what we're doing here, you guys. This is why I'm doing this. And like I said, I'm very grateful no one is showing up right now to my ritual. We sit in the chair, sweetie. You sit down, boo-boo. Okay. So how does this sound awful, you guys? Having the external webcam microphone? Or does that sound okay? Because if it doesn't sound okay, then I'm just going to have to deal with choppy, or if I do it this way, how does that sound? Just let me know. Just let me know. It looks like some audio is getting picked up, so I'm not going to be too worried about it right now. No problem. Okay, so here's what you'll need for what I'm doing today, what we're doing if you choose to join me. I use a journal. It really doesn't matter what kind of journal you use for your planning and creation. I use a journal, and I like don't follow any of the rules in it. I just, it sounds like old video calls. Huh. Sounds like 2007. Okay.
But I take it that is much better. So why don't we just do it with this? And I'll, Skype edition, exactly. And I'll figure it out from here. I was so fired up earlier. DJ Guru says when I made a comeback to streaming with 2 hours Doom Eternal stream. If you only, Kira, how happy I feel back then. It seems good for me, even with some buffering in the stream. Okay, wonderful. Well, that's good. Cool. Because we're going to be starting this in about 5 minutes. So you'll want a notebook and or a piece of paper to write, because we're going to be doing some journaling. And after the journaling and after all of the assessment of our month and our week, we're going to go into creating the month of May together. So this is what I do every single Friday with a community of people who are not showing up today. So I really lucked out that I get to do this with you guys, and still, like, I'm literally doing 2 jobs at once right now. So I'm grateful y'all are here. I'm grateful Sarah is here, and I'm kind of grateful no one is joining me over here. Like I said, we'll get started in about 4 minutes. If anybody has any questions about what we're doing, please let me know. Like I said, it's just going to be some journaling, some introspection on what we've been up to in the last week and month, assessing it, and then creating our month ahead. For you, it sounds like Zoom calls. Okay, that's not the worst thing in the world. Checkerbrecker says, oh, we like to drink with Kira because Kira is our mate. And when we drink with Kira, she drinks it down in 876. Hold on. 876. Biver. Max, today, right now, it's just a chatting stream. Later on, I'm going to play around with how to do a reaction stream, because this is my maiden voyage of streaming at home. And so I'm just doing a little bit at a time today, because I just want to make sure, well, there's a lot of reasons. This isn't the only reason. I also have something going on at 7:30 tonight that I got to do. It's just, it's a thing. It's a thing, okay? Today got really rattled up, and I was super excited because I got all of the technology onto my computer finally, and then I wasn't going to be able to do it. And I was like, that's bullshit. I really want to stream. I really want to see if this works. So that's why I'm doing this now. And then after my thing tonight, what I'm going to do is try to log on and do reactions. It won't be for very long, but at least I'll see if it's really shitty, and if I need to change something, which will probably definitely be the case, you guys. So just to warn you. Oh. Did you want a kiss from mommy? Oh, my baby's crying. Sounds wholesome, says Checkerbecker. It is wholesome. It's absolutely wholesome. Most things that I do in life are fairly wholesome. That's not true. That's a total lie. Okay. Cool. But yes, this is wholesome, and it's very, very fun. So, oh no. Oh, and if she wants snacks and stuff, you can give her snacks. There's popcorn. She likes popcorn. Oh, shit. Yeah, she likes popcorn. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get this party started. It's very interesting that not a single person joined me live, but I'm, like I said, okay with it. So here we go.
So for me, I'm live as...
Well, you're live as fuck. That's true. Sarah is live with me. I should stop saying that nobody's live with me. That's the worst. I'm horrible. I'm a horrible person. Oh, okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay. So you guys, this is the final week of April 2022. Today, we are going to be completing this final week of April. We are going to be completing the month of April together. We're going to be assessing the month and the week together. And then we are going to create the month of May and the first week of May together. So get excited. Before we really jump into any of that, what I invite you to do is get acquainted with what actually happened over the last month, okay? So before you really decide anything about how the month went or what it looked like, what I want you to do is get grounded in what actually happened. So go ahead, go back through your calendar, go back through journals, go back through your notes from the week or from the month, and just kind of remind yourself of everything that happened, okay? So how I do that is I go through my calendar because I track everything that I do on my calendar. I'm able to go back and look at what actually happened. And all my stuff is color coded too, so I can see how much, what time I spent where, right? And so I can see, like, okay, I started canvassing this month, right? I spent a lot of time with my kid. I worked a lot. So just take a moment, and I'm going to be quiet for a second. And I want you to get clear on how the month went and what happened this month, okay? And I'm going to do the same thing. I actually do this whole workshop with you. No, not Mintu. OB2W, about drinks. I really recommend to try Finnish mint liquor called Mintu. No, not Mintu. It is the best alcohol I ever tried. That's funny. And for those of you who are looking at Video Land over here through Kimbra, I am playing around with this idea of streaming just for today, just for giggles, okay? So that y'all are clear on what's going on over here. So now that you're grounded in what the month of April was like, I want you to specifically zero in now on what the last week was like. I want you to look at, because a month is a really long time. A week is a pretty long time too. There's a lot that we do in a week. So go ahead and make sure that you're clear on that. And then when you're ready, I'm going to read off a checklist. And this checklist is called my Rituals for Thriving list. And I actually pull it from my dream book and planner here from DragonTreeApothecary.com. And if you've done any of the following items in the last week, I want you to give yourself credit for those items. The reason we do this, the reason that we check in with our Rituals for Thriving is because we need to choose the mindset that we approach our planning and our assessment. Because if we don't choose our mindset, we are just basically at the effect of our fairly limited biology when it comes to our brain. I know that sounds a little ridiculous, being that we have an incredible brain. We definitely do. But when I say that, what I mean is that our brain is designed to remember what didn't work, who fucked up, what you forgot, what you didn't get done, how awful you are, how awful everybody else is. That is what our biological brain is trained to focus on. And the reason we're trained to focus on the negative is because it is for our own survival. But we've very much evolved out of that necessity. So now we're going to brain hack. And the brain hacking happens when we get present to how fucking amazing we are. Okay? So, if you've done any of the following, I just looked at my daughter, she's very cute. If you've done any of the following items in the last week, I want you to give yourself credit. DJ Guru says, but about the streams, it will get better while you get further down that path. I agree, and thank you. God, you guys are so supportive. It's incredible. Okay, so in the last week, if you've exercised, give yourself some cred. If you meditated or took any time for breathing, exercise was number one. Breathing, meditation, give yourself cred. If you journaled in the last week, give yourself some credit. Did you dance at all this week? Oh, I always dance. Give yourself credit. Doing it now. I'm doing it now. You're doing it now, right? Chair dancing counts too. Okay? Did you go on a date? And when I say go on a date, I count friend dates. I love friend dates. And now that I don't get to go on romantic dates anymore because my husband and I are monogamous, friend dates are where it's at for me. So friend dates count. Did you connect with nature at all this week? I definitely did. I went on a walk. How about any visualization? Did you take time to visualize this week? How about spending time with family or friends or family? Did you cook or eat a healthy meal this week? Did you organize your space or any part of your life? Did you get rid of anything you don't love this week? Did you play? I know people on this stream probably did. Did you let go or forgive? Working on it. That's for sure. There was a lot of letting go that I had to do today. One of our community members got to see it when they came in on the early space. I almost had a meltdown. Yeah, it happens to me too, I promise. Did you sing or make music? Did you create any art this week? I never marked that one. Venus Blues says my stream froze, which is unfortunate, but I got to keep going. Did you read for enjoyment this week? Did you connect or pray? Did you call someone or write a letter? Did you stretch, do yoga, do a somatic movement practice? How about massage or exchange touch? Did you serve your community? Did you take a technology break? How about, did you take time to process emotions or new breakthroughs? Because new breakthroughs can be a little painful. Promise. Did you spend any time with animals or plants? And did you take time for any self-care or self-love? And then go ahead, look at your list, pat yourself on the back. You done good. And now what we're going to do to continue to create the mindset that we want, the mindset that comes from a place of power, what I'm going to do next is set an alarm for 3 minutes from now. And in 3 minutes, what I want you to do, and for 3 minutes I should say, what I want you to do is I want you to write out all of the successes, all of the wins, the breakthroughs, what you gained over the last week, all the good stuff, okay? So in 3 minutes, what you're going to do for that time is try not to stop. You're going to write and write and write. If you need to stop, obviously, like stop and think, review, but really, I want you to push yourself in finding all of the ways that you won in the last week. So let's go ahead. Timer is set. Let's get ready. Get set. 3 minutes. Let's hit it. All of your successes in 3 minutes. We're looking at the last week right now, but we are going to assess the month. Yeah, good question. I've been playing around because I feel like I don't do, not to interrupt everybody who's writing their successes, but I feel like I don't do that great of a job yet of like combining the month and the week. I'm working on it, okay? Keep filling out your successes. Keep doing what you're doing. getting present to my successes, and I'm like, oh yeah, I did do that, didn't I? Keep going. We still got about 30 seconds. Keep filling out all that success. All the wins, all the gains. Keep bringing them up, bringing them up. And you can always add to this list. I just do it for 3 minutes so that people are really, really tilling up their successes, okay? So if later on you find that you, in fact, had more successes than what you wrote down, please go ahead and write them down. Don't keep them out of your journal, right? That would make no sense inside of what we're doing here today. That's not for you, boo-boo. Yeah, that's not for you. That's mommy's. Here's yours. Okay, so now that we have our mindset straight, what I would like to do is get us, this is not something that I was planning on running into. What I would like to, for us to now do is get acquainted once I pull this up, because I had it pulled up on this computer, not on the other one, but that should be fine. What I want to do now that we are in the mindset of our choosing, right, that of success, that of winning, right, I'm going to get us all present to our 5 guidelines for prosperity for my company, Kimbra. So, the first guideline for prosperity is that creating a money, communication, and time ritual for your life will... Oh, yeah. Sorry, you guys. Wow, I really, really blanked there. So be sure to create money, communication, and time rituals for your business or businesses and your life. And make sure there's something you look forward to. So that is what this space is. This space is where we get together and we do a time ritual for our lives. On Monday is our money ritual. On Wednesday is our communication and people ritual. Today is our time ritual. Number 2, be malleable with your structures. They will always be changing. And that is with your time, your money, your people structures, but just your structures in general in life. Being more malleable, being less attached, which kind of gets us into our third principle. Being less attached will allow you to dance in circumstances the way that you don't usually get to when you're attached to something. So be committed to your outcomes, not attached to what the journey looks like. Okay, so if you have a commitment that everybody receives health care, right? You want to go over there? If you have a commitment that everybody receives health care, then how that journey looks getting there is going to probably look all kinds of ways that you were not expecting. So you want to make sure that you are committed to your outcomes, not attached to the journey. Uh-oh. You'll want to take what works for you and your life and throw away the rest. Okay, so that's another piece. Inside of these rituals or any sort of structures you're playing with, when someone gives you advice on how to do something, don't feel like that is the way to do it. You will take what works and you will leave behind the rest. You may use the rest at another point in time when your structures change because you're being malleable. But for now, let it go. Don't get stuck in doing it the way someone else is doing things. And then finally, time is finite. Bend it wisely. Money is infinite. Whisper from abundance. And communication is magic. It's what makes the rain. She may be able to go lie down if she's looking tired. Sorry, guys. Cause yeah, if she's cranky, she may need to lie down. I paused the recording over here. And since I did, I might as well look at what you're saying. Kira, when I start streaming back in 2019, 2020, I have the same problems with the quality, But now, after some time, it's getting better as I continue to teach myself. So you will be better at it too. Thank you, DJ Guru. So I totally understand. You just need to keep going no matter what people say. Hater gonna hate. Checkerbrecker says, I help those with blood problems or those who need blood. I'm a blood donator. Right on. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Okay, let me get my brain together. Okay, so we just did our prosperity stuff. So, hopefully that resonated for some of you, or at least one of those did. And I'm going to pause just for a moment. Is it me or is Kira's stream buffering a lot? Damn it. It's probably not you, Checkerbrecker. It is probably whatever it is I'm dealing with here at my house. So, I am going to have to figure something out with that. It may be that I just need a better internet. But I think that I have the best internet there is to have. But like DJ Guru said, I'm just going to take it in stride. I'm playing with it. We'll see. I'm also curious, like, once it's later at night and I stream later tonight, if I might have a better bandwidth on my internet, right? Because maybe not so many people are on the internet at that time. I don't know. I just work here, you know? Okay, so... let's see. Just in case you can't hear me, Checkerbrecker, I'm going to type in the chat. I just said it's probably not you. Okay, cool. I'm going to... turn this on. Baby monitor, right? No, it's fine. This is usually what it's like when she's upstairs crying and nobody... Usually I put her to nap before I even start, and then she'll start crying around 4 or 4:30. Like, it'll be just a 30-minute nap, and then I'll get her up and she's just having a meltdown like the whole time. Yeah. But it's Friday night too, so we might put her to bed late tonight. Who cares? Hello, people. Is anyone causing chaos here? Says Adeptus Freemanicus. Not quite. Other than my kid. My kid is creating chaos here. And that's okay. All right. So, let's go ahead. Let me get presents again here because I am not present today. So I apologize. But that's okay. Like I said, I'm grateful things kind of turned out the way they did with the live Zoom call. Okay, so let me make sure that I unmute. Yeah, what's up?
We're committed to the outcome, but not attached to
The journey or the process. Yeah, committed to the outcome, not attached to what the journey is looking like or the process of it. Often when we get attached to a process, we stop seeing opportunities that are right in front of us. You are streaming in 1080p, and that might be cause for the buffering. Thank you for that note. I'm not going to futz with that right now, but I appreciate that note, and I will look into that. Cool. So, we are about to create a new month. And before we do that, what I want us to do is assess, hey, Aerobine, I want us to assess the month that just passed. So we were just focusing on the last week. Now we're going to expand what we're looking at into the last month. And in your assessment of the last month, I want you to answer these journaling prompts that I came up with this week. Now, I get my inspiration from journaling prompts through just my own personal experience throughout my week, time that I spend with my clients, that kind of thing. So whatever inspires me is usually where I'm getting my prompts. So for this month of April 2022, what I want you to pause and assess is the fact that we take time to celebrate our wins in this time bender ritual, but it's really also important to take time to grieve and make space for releasing parts of ourselves and parts of our lives that either aren't useful anymore, are shifting because we're growing or we're aging, or like the circumstances of our lives have shifted. Is there anything that you see in your life presently, and in the last month, but overall, right? Is there a chapter of life? Is there a thing in your life that you need to take time to grieve and process? Go ahead and take a moment just to think on that, reflect, and journal.
Can you go back over kind of like what is included in like loss?
Yeah, so what grieving is basically something has changed and there's maybe a loss inside of that change. Maybe there is.
And I feel like you gave a couple examples of like ideas or.
Yeah, like things that change. Like for me, one of the reasons this prompt came up for me is because there was a woman that I was in a group with talking about being a mom and like grieving that part of her that went out on the weekends and drank and that she's like she's having a hard time coping with the gray hairs coming in, and like the gray hairs coming in isn't what she's upset about, it's like that piece of her that she's now leaving behind, right? And I thought, gosh, what an interesting thing to explore. What have we left behind that we haven't really grieved yet? Like what parts of us? Or did we age out of something that we haven't taken time to grieve yet? Or out of a circumstance, or out of a relationship, right? Because relationships, when they end, there is a grieving period. So, thanks for asking, Sarah. Yeah, so anything like that. And I'm going to be quiet now while you explore that idea of grieving. I think so, yeah. I was wondering what that was. And so now the second part of that question is, now that you've presenced yourself to any piece of you, any part of your life that does need a moment of processing, what could you do? When you're journaling, I don't want you to get stuck in that, like, whatever you say you could do, you're going to do, right? Because sometimes when we feel like we're making a commitment to something, we don't actually fully look, right? So let go of any commitment or obligation to actually doing what you say you're going to do. All I want you to do is look, what could you do to honor that grieving period? What could you do to honor it? Just take a moment now to reflect. Take as much time on this journaling prompt as you need. But the next prompt is there any way that you see you've been protecting yourself? Is there any way you're seeing that you've been protecting yourself? Now, protecting yourself can look like not taking risks, not getting into communication about things, not doing what you say you're going to do, or doing what you say you're going to do even though you don't want to and you're not. That's another thing, like inside of communicating. Like, can you see any spaces or places in your life where you're protecting yourself? Take a moment to look. Now, how could you release that protective mechanism such that you could release the floodgates of your happiness, income, or prosperity? Or beyond. Anything I'm not thinking of and listing there. Take as much time on these journaling prompts as necessary here. Just like with any part of this ritual, this is all sort of work at your own pace, right? If you are a 411 participant, what I invite you to take a moment to do now is look at what your one thing for the month, your one things for the month of April were, and go ahead and assess if they're complete or incomplete. If you are not a 411 participant, what I want you to do is take a look at what you said you were going to do by the end of April and assess whether or not they're done and what the gap is. So take a moment for that assessment now. I already did part of that with one of my businesses. I'm going to do it with my personal life now. Oh, hey, Twitch from home was one of my April goals.
Nice.
I got it,
Nick
but
of time.
albeit horribly, I'll admit it right now. But that's okay. I'm doing
Was
it.
your goal to do it well?
No, my goal was not to do it well. You're right.
Being specific.
That was one of 5 goals I actually got to in April. Well, shit.
You got one.
Yay! It's okay. It's okay. I'm okay with it. I'm complete that it's incomplete, right? And that's the other piece, right? You want to look at what was incomplete for the month of April and just assess, am I complete that it's incomplete? And if you're not, that's okay. It'll give you fuel for the sharing portion of our ritual today, right? Because we share toward completion. So, I'll be quiet now. Go ahead and assess. Okie dokie, Smokies. Take your time with this, right? If you need more time, just keep working. Wherever you are is perfect. But what we'll be stepping into next is sharing toward completion. So we're actually going to share toward completion for the month of April and the last week. So if you're like feeling okay about the month, but the last week, like whatever's there for you is, I guess, what I'm going to say. We're sharing toward completion. It's just me and another person today, me and Sarah. So I'll have, when Sarah's ready, come over so that you guys can see her lovely face while we share toward our completion. Yay, it's a live ritual. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Look at this framing. This is amazing. It's like we're in a studio.
You're so good at this.
I know. Like I've had half of
everything. I'm so proud of you.
You're so good at everything.
So proud of you.
I am not good at everything. I'm not good at technology. This stream is sucking. And not because of my personality. All right, cool. All right, so we're going to share toward completion. Since there's two of us here live, I'm not going to put a time limit on it because I don't think that that's going to be necessary. And of course, if you are in a community replay, you can go ahead and pause during the sharing toward completion. And if you're watching this on your own, you can just watch our shares, or you can skip over. I put a time code in the description so that you can skip over sharing if it's not something that lights you up, right? But I would assert that out of people's shares, you can actually hear a lot of yourself. So, what is sharing toward completion? In order to share toward completion, what you want to think about is the feeling of being ready to let go and move forward, right? So if there's something that's still striking a chord of like resentment for you, anger, pity, any sort of like negativity could be an incompletion. Sometimes when we don't get to brag about what we do in our lives, when we don't get witnessed inside of what we're doing, that can leave us very incomplete. I think not celebrating what we do is one of the biggest reasons we're incomplete as human beings, right, out in life. But it can also look like asking for advice. It could look like talking about stuckness. It could look like I don't know. It can look like all kinds of things. As long as the goal is, the intention is to get complete, to let go of the tension of shoulda, woulda, coulda bullshit. Okay? So, go ahead and pause here if you're part of a ritual replay community. If you want to skip, you can go ahead and skip ahead here. But Sarah, do you want to go first and Sharon? Do you want me to go first, or do you not want to share at all? Sharon's not required.
I am happy to share. It was actually just
Oh
based
yeah.
on something that like we hadn't initially been a part of the goal, but I like to be complete, so I'm gonna count it.
Yeah.
And so that goal was to have made at least. Well, so I started it as made at least, and then Kim coached me to say made or more. So $1,000 or more was one of my goals for this week, for this month.
Okay.
And like from my business. And so I just calculated like what I made from childcare gigs. You know, which is my business. And I was $21 short.
Oh, okay.
So then I looked at the payments that my partner has sent me for rent this month, and at least one of them had a $20 additional payment for rent and dishes, or for dishes and laundry. So technically, I was paid $20 additional for service.
That is a service that you provide.
Right?
Yeah.
So it was not, so a hired gig.
Yeah.
It wasn't something that I initially considered like a job, but it was a service I provided that I got money for.
Yeah.
So
I would count that.
I hit my $1,000.
High five. Nice.
So there's that one. Are we just sharing all of the?
You can share
6
whatever
goals?
you want. Like whatever will have you like ready to create a new month without any of the shackles of negative feelings.
So then I guess
yeah.
I'll share where, because I feel like one of my goals was to hold a handstand for 20 seconds off of the wall.
Yeah.
But I really haven't even tested that. I've been doing my practice towards gaining that skill, which my yearly goal is to be able to get into a handstand free.
Yeah.
But I've been doing the exercise regularly, so even if I haven't tested it, and I still got a couple days.
Yeah, you do. Oh yeah, I didn't even mention that. We still have April's not over. I guess we'll probably talk about that with Hale Odins, right? But yeah, April's not over yet, so also understand that if there's only one more thing you have to do inside of a goal.
Right. So I haven't technically reached that goal, although I'm not sure that that's not something that I can't do at this point. Another one that I am questioning, I've been thinking about it a little bit over the last couple of days, that one of my goals really was centered a little bit around somebody else's intentions, somebody else's willingness.
Okay.
Which I kind of decided that maybe that's not something that I would do in the future, but also something that I wanted to bring up within the Kimbra. Because one of those goals was to have made enough money to show another person that they don't need to worry about money in order to get them to agree to do something that takes money with me.
Okay, I got it.
So, I guess what I'm saying is that I kind of let go of that goal.
Okay.
So it is complete.
Yeah.
So I count it.
There you go. Yeah. And especially if you're complete about the completion of it. Yeah.
I feel like I've realized that just making a goal around another person just isn't realistic.
Yeah, it's not workable, right?
You can't have any effect on another person.
Yeah.
I mean, you can potentially
impact them, right?
Or impact them, but you can't.
We all impact each other, but at the end of the day, that person is a sovereign being.
Right.
And so putting your eggs in a basket of somebody else's actions or reactions, it's a thing you can do.
Right. And
because there's less control in that sort of expectation, there's not as much power in it, right? Yeah, so then that
could be
So,
that. Yeah.
I feel like you can manifest things for yourself, but you can't really manifest something for someone else necessarily because they have to be a willing participant.
Mm-hmm.
And unless they're a part of that manifestation, you're probably setting yourself up for failure.
Right. Well, and especially if they're not aligned.
Or even aware. And that's the case in this situation. Like,
that's
I have
awesome.
this goal for someone else that they don't even know it exists.
Wow.
Like, let that go.
Yeah. We're letting it go. We're letting it go.
So then I have one other goal that I am not even in the process of completing at this point.
That's how a lot of my goals are.
Like my weekly, and this is still something that I don't think I've gotten to in the 411, which is like the following weeks. Mm-hmm. The 411 is just the first week.
That's right. Well,
and you're not supposed to do the second week or the third week or the fourth week at that point, which I did because I'm an overachiever. And
you gotta do them in the present time. That's the thing with the 411. And this isn't the 411, just to be clear, right? But you want to do them newly every week instead of planning it out ahead.
Right.
Because you have no idea what circumstance. Yeah, exactly.
Right. You may have already completed your
you might have completed your yearly goal in a week. Yep.
Right.
Because shit happens, man.
Right. So, anyways, that being said, I have not really worked towards that goal at all, but I feel like I can leave it, and like consider it. I can be complete with it. Mm-hmm. It's not completed, but I'm not upset in any way that this hasn't happened yet. I feel like it was a goal that was maybe a little lofty for the place where I am.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Got it.
And this maybe should have been there should have been a smaller goal to get to this one. This maybe should have been a yearly goal rather than a monthly goal or something. Okay. So you want me to share what the goal was?
Only if you want to. I'm just being really nosy.
I mean, I am sitting next
I am
to
the
you,
nosy.
and I do know
I
you
am
really
so
well.
fucking nosy. It's so ridiculous. I'm like, what is it?
If I didn't want you to know, I definitely would have been holding this like this because I know that about you.
People are like, oh, something happened with my family this weekend. I had an emergency. What happened?
So the goal was around my business, and it was to have had the yearly goal was to have had a portion of my income coming from a passive source.
Oh, okay.
So then the monthly goal was to have created a paid membership, a purchasable content, or added an employee.
For the month. Okay, yeah.
And so then the week goal was to reach out to other nannies, which was an achievable goal for the week.
Yeah.
But I didn't do that in any of the 4 weeks. Because I think that realistically, I don't know what that even looks like. I think that before I reach out to another nanny to be part of my team, I need to know how do I pay them? How do I...
We can actually have a conversation about that.
I think that there's a lot more like background information that I need to know.
Yeah, that's about like tax structure. Yeah.
Tackle this goal.
Yep. We can talk about that. I know a lot about that, and obviously because I've hired a lot of trainers over the years. So we can start getting into that, and it's actually much simpler than you would think.
I feel like everything really is once you know what it is, then you're like, oh.
The hard part is finding good people.
What? Oh, yeah.
I hate to say it.
I have a couple in mind. I'm not sure how many of them would be interested, but we'll see. But anyways, that being said, I am willing to let that go. The ones that I haven't reached, I am ready for completion and ready to move on.
Yeah.
That's my next month goal.
Yeah. And now that we have a plan for you joining the Time Bender Ritual Weekly, I assert that you'll be able to do those week by week plannings and do them from nothing. Because that's really what the 411 calls for, is like, here's my goal for the month. What's the one thing this week that I did to get to that goal, right? From nothing, not from what I did or didn't do last week. Like from what's going on now, what do I need to do, right? And that, the 411 is weirdly magical when you do it the way it's meant to be done. It just takes something to really do it the way it's fucking meant to be done.
Yeah.
And usually it takes meetings, right? We do the 411 for Kimbra. Yeah, we do the 411 for Kimbra. We fill ours out every Friday at our Kimbra meeting at 10:30. For Comfy Fitness, we fill out our 411 every Monday at our 11 a.m. meeting, right? And then my personal 411 I fill out during Comfy Fitness because Carrie and I decided that we're going to do our personal 411s together at our Comfy Fitness meeting. So that's where community comes in. That's like where all of this fucking like, let's work together comes in. Because if people are counting on you to show up, you're going to show up. If you're counting on yourself to show up,
I might rather watch this TV show.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We got a share, it looks like, from our chat. Tornado Cholo says, 1, put more effort in my tasks as well as having more discipline in life. I think being better for myself would help overcome grievances from the past. I think being better for myself would help overcome grievances from the past. Ooh, I like that. 2, says Tornado Cholo. 2, yes, all of the time. I wouldn't trust my feelings to people, and I know it's bad. But it's just I don't really trust people a lot. The lag is terrible. Oh, man, couldn't hear the last one. Okay, I put the journal prompts into the chat. So thank you for sharing, Tornado Cholo, and I'm so sorry that my stream is crappy. But again, this is the maiden voyage, so I appreciate you sharing because that's awesome. How fun that we're getting people to share in the chat. Cool. Anything else for you, Sarah, before I do any of my sharing?
No, I think I'm complete.
Okay. I feel like
Except
this.
I'm gonna rip up this to-do list that's also complete.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Yeah, so I have it that, like, April was kind of a shit show. But it really, it wasn't. It's just that there was so much to do, and I did so much. And then to go back and look at all of my projects not being completed, it's just like there is a piece of me that's like, oh, that kind of hurts, right? But at the same time, you know, it unfolded. The way that it unfolded was like a bunch of other stuff that I had intentions around started showing up instead, right? Like, okay, fine, I didn't get Myth of Aging up as a passive income course, right? Okay, I didn't get these, because I'm making 2022 my year of passive income, right? In scaling, like scaling and passive income, right? I'm tired of having to, scaling means like Kimber is a scalable business, right? I can bring in 100 members and we're still spending the same amount of time on the business, right? So that's a scalable business, right? So I have all my scaling in place and none of it is working out, right? I have all the one-on-ones, like everybody wants to hire me for one-on-ones. So I'm like fighting people off tooth and nail, but at the same time needing money. So being like, maybe I will take that private one, right? Like it's a tug of war, like, because I've been doing one-on-ones and making my main source of income from one-on-ones for nearly 15 years. And that's a hard thing to break. But I've never had the scalable side of businesses. So I don't know how to grow this. So like a lot of like what I've been doing is in this last month is trying to figure that out. So we met with a marketing person, like someone who has done marketing for Nike and like massive brands and all of this stuff, and she's one of my clients. So I was like, hey, would you take a look at our marketing? And she did, and she created all this new language for us, which we didn't have before. But to actually shift all of that on a website and at a company level takes a